Welcome back to another episode of Be Divine Minded. It is your girl, Goddess Fumi, or you can call me Jennifer because that's what my mother named me. Today, I'm making a video and I'm going to be talking about the zodiac signs. We're going to talk about the positives and the negatives of each sign. And I'm going to be talking about what I like and dislike about each sign based on the knowledge that I have of the signs, all right? I have been sort of really into the zodiac sign, and I have a gift of kind of like guessing people's sign based on their personalities and their characteristics. So keep watching so we can talk about the positives and the negatives of each zodiac sign.
My deepest apologies. Let me introduce myself properly. I'm your future and your prophecy. Navigate the.
Hey y'all. So we're going to talk about the zodiac signs today. And for most of you, a lot of people, the sign that you know, that is most likely your sun sign. All right. Most people know the sun sign. You know what day and month you were born, so you know your basic sun sign. But I also think that it is very important to understand your whole chart, actually. And because of that, I'm going to actually post a link below where you can get your full natal chart. But in this video, we're just going to I just want to break down the differences between the three that I use. If you want to understand someone or understand their characteristics, for me, I like to look at their sun sign, their moon sign, and their rising sign. All right. So the sun sign is the sign that pretty much dictates everything. It is your boss. Your moon sign is your intuitive side, your inner side, the side that you rarely show, people of the world. You only show people that you really love and care about. And then you have your rising sign, which is the sign of the face that you put on when you're out in social gatherings or at work. You're out in the public. All right. Okay, so each of the zodiac signs have different placements, so depending on if it starts the season, if it's maintaining the season, or if it's ending the season. All right, so if it's starting the season, it is going to be cardinal. If it is maintaining the season, it is going to be fixed. If it is ending the season, that means that it is a mutable sign. Okay, so while I talk about the different characteristics, you might hear me say it is a mutable sign, it is a fixed sign, and you may also hear me categorize these signs based on if they're earth, water, air, or fire elements. Okay, each sign has its own element. So we're going to start with the leader of the zodiac sign, and that is Aries. Now, Aries is a fire sign. Aries is the leader of the zodiac. They are a cardinal sign, meaning that they are starting the season. So Aries would be the one to start spring. And, it is like a baby. So you think of spring, everything is new. You have the new flowers growing, the new leaves on the trees, and it is a time when, it is a fresh baby and it has to go out into the world and learn everything, okay? Because each sign learns all the experiences and all the life lessons from the sign before it, okay? And so since Aries is our first sign, it is our leader, Aries has to pretty much learn everything through experience, all right? So Aries is the one that's going to go and take those chances. They're very ambitious. They're go-getters. A lot of times they have their hands in a bunch of different businesses. They do get bored easily. So a few of the bad characteristics is when it comes to love, Aries can get bored. They're going to probably have a lot of different lovers because, like I said, they're always learning by experience. They're always quick. Like if you say, I need a volunteer, Aries is quick to, be the first one to get their feet dirty. And that's one thing I love about Aries. It's a very masculine sign. And they're go-getters. What's not to love about that? So shout out to you, Aries. So next sign we have is Taurus. Now Taurus is one of my favorite signs. It is an earth sign. Taurus is a very masculine sign. It is a fixed sign. So it means that Taurus maintains the season, okay, because it's fixed. Now, some of the things that I love about Taurus is that, they're very loyal, they're loving, they're always there for you when you need them. Again, like I said, it's a very masculine sign. So if you're dating a male and you're looking for a masculine alpha male, pretty much Aries and Taurus, they're a lot alike, except for Aries is going to, take a bunch of chances. And, whereas Taurus, they're very ambitious and go-getters as well, but they're going to think about it before they do certain things. Taurus is an earth sign, so they're very reliable and predictable. They love to be in the house, and, they just love consistency and stability. And that is one thing I love about Taurus. One of my best relationships was with a Taurus man. He treated me really good. He was an alpha male. And a few things that I really don't like about Taurus is, whenever I try to introduce certain Taurus friends with other friends, it takes them a while to warm up and get to know people. So, that's one thing. They're very protective, and they could be aggressive. You have the Taurus, they're still that bull, but overall, they don't like change. They really don't like change, and they just like consistency and stability. So let's go to the most hated sign ever, especially in my opinion, and that is the Gemini. Now, Gemini is Gemini is an air sign. Gemini is a mutable sign. So that means that it ends the season. If you have something going on with a Gemini, you may start it, but trust me, they're going to end it. Some of the things that I like about Geminis are they're not afraid to speak their mind. They're very vocal. They're social. They can be charming. And some of the things that I just really don't like about Geminis is that they can be in their head a lot. Like they can always think people is out to get them. They have those two faces where you don't know how they're feeling today. They can be cool as ever and then all of a sudden just curse you out. Like Geminis, me as a Capricorn, we just never had anything in common. I did date one Gemini man, and I actually befriended one Gemini woman, and it just didn't work out. All right, next we have the Cancer. Now, Cancers to me are very nurturing, intuitive, they're motherly. Cancers are a cardinal sign. They start summer. They are a water sign, so they get really deep. They are, to me, like the mothers of the Zodiac. My mother is actually a Cancer, and she's very motherly. She's very feminine. She can get emotional because they're very intuitive and empathetic. Some of the things that I just don't like about Cancer is, for me, I feel like they're funny acting sometimes. They can be people pleasers, where they're trying to please. I had to turn my TV down. Where they're trying to please, too many people at once, and it just makes them come off as, funny acting. But outside of that, I love my Cancers. I have a really good friend that's a Cancer, and my mom is a Cancer. So let's talk about the Leo. Now, Leos is a fixed sign, which means that they maintain the summer, they maintain the season. And Leos are, they're a fire sign. To me, they're very charming. They're very proud and prideful. Can be generous depending on how and where you are in their life. Like if you're close to them, if, they really care about you, they will be there for you. Things that I just really didn't like about, Leos is that they're very proud. They rarely admit when they're wrong. And, they kind of can be arrogant. So next we have the Virgo. Virgos is another one of my earth signs, and they're very intuitive and, again, very feminine. You have Beyonce is a beautiful Virgo. Those can be very dependent and very attached. That is one thing that I love the fact that they're very caring and loving and nurturing, but then at the same time, they can be very attached and very jealous of, when you're around any other people. They kind of want you all to themselves. And another thing, Virgos kind of live in their head as well. And because they're so intuitive, they can kind of, always feel like something is going on. All right, so let's go to the lucky Libra. Libra is one of my favorite because, my youngest son is a Libra and my moon sign is a Libra. So for me, I think that Libras are very flirtatious. They're very lucky. They bring balance into people's lives. So if you're very calm and quiet, you get around a Libra, they're going to just bring out that adventurous side, just charming, and they can grace the room and just be, just very charming to everybody. Some of the bad things about Libra is that they probably have a lot of different women or men. They like to flirt with everybody, and it's hard to keep them in a box. Libras is an air sign, so they kind of float around, and they're just kind of like all over the place. I've noticed that Libras can be cool by themselves because even when they're by themselves, they're still connected to everybody. So, shout out to my Libras. Next, we're going to go to the Scorpio. Scorpio is a fixed water sign, okay? So that means that Scorpio maintains the fall. Libra is the sign that starts fall, so it is a cardinal sign, whereas Scorpio is a fixed sign because it maintains the fall. Now, some things that I like about Scorpio is that they're very giving. They love their friends, they love their families, they're providers. I don't like how Scorpios always think something is up, even when it's not. When things aren't going their way, they get angry and just, they can say negative things or treat you in a negative way when they don't get their way or what they expect. But outside of that, Scorpios are really good people. They love hard. They may love too hard. They're very passionate, okay? So, yeah, that's what I got for Scorpios. So the next sign that we're going to talk about is the Sagittarius. And the Sagittarius is a fire sign, okay? It is also a mutable sign because it ends the fall season. All right, now it is a fire sign, so if you're looking for, again, a masculine energy, Sagittarius is a very masculine energy. It is a fire sign, and just how it sounds, like they don't play, they don't take no stuff, but at the same time, they're great friends, they're very sociable, they like to have a good time, they're fun. So if you want to go out and enjoy yourself, go with a Sagittarius because they're going to be the life of the party. They're going to make people laugh. Now, that could be a bad thing, especially if you're in a relationship because, people really don't like for their spouse to be all up in everybody's faces. And when you have a Sagittarius, they know everybody. They're very popular. Everybody loves them. So you're going to have to deal with that, all right? So that is for my Sagittariuses. Now, for my favorite sign, it is Capricorn. That is my sun sign. We are cardinal signs. We start the winter, and when you think of Capricorns, you think of ambitious. We can be go-getters. We're very hard workers. We're stable. We are very predictable, because we're earth signs and, we pretty much go with the seasons. In the summer you can expect it to be hot, in the winter you can expect it to be cold, and that is pretty much how earth signs are. The bad thing about Capricorns is that we can be kind of standoffish and we can be detached. So sometimes we like to be alone and we like to do things on our own, and we can be kind of standoffish. One thing I notice, I have a bunch of friends that are Capricorn, and I myself is Capricorn. One thing I notice about Capricorns is that we're real. We could be pessimistic, but at the same time, if you call us for advice, we're not sugarcoating anything. We're not going to think about your emotions. We're going to tell it exactly how it is, okay? So if you want to feel sympathy or anything like that, do not call a Capricorn for no advice, because they're going to be like, honey, you need to get it together. This is what's going to happen if you don't get your shit together, like now. All right. So, yeah. So that's Capricorn, Earth sign, cardinal. All right. So the next sign that we have is your Aquarius. Now, Aquarius, although it may sound like a water sign, it is actually an air sign. And Aquarius is the fixed sign because it maintains the winter. And for me, Aquariuses, they're very eccentric. They're very quiet and calm, some of them. You know, they can be loners, they can be detached, you know what I mean, where they're cool being by themselves. You know, I've had a relationship with an Aquarius, and I swear this when I was younger, and he would tell me all the time I was the only child and I'm okay being by myself. And for the most part, most Aquariuses, you know, they're very stable and they're okay being alone. You know, they're very deep, they're very intelligent, you know, they know a lot. Aquarius is just filled and packed with a bunch of information. So if you just ever want some advice or some knowledge, call you an Aquarius, okay? Now the last sign is the Pisces, and Pisces are a mutable sign. Pisces is a water sign. They are a mutable sign. They end the winter, you know. When you think of Pisces, you think of, you know, just romantic and seductive and really deep. You know, I've had conversations with Pisces, and you can just get really, really deep and tell them your darkest, deepest secrets, and they love that stuff. They like to talk to you about their feelings, and, you know, they're just really in tune with the emotions, and, you know, they can be very romantic. Some of the bad things that I feel about, you know, Pisces is that, you know, they just can be so dreamy sometimes that they just don't do enough doing. You know, they'll dream and tell you all the things they want to do, but rarely do they ever make those things happen. So that is just my brief rundown through all the signs, you know, of the good and the bad about each sign. Like I said, I am going to put in the description box a link where you can get a free natal chart, and you just have to know the time that you were born and where you were born. And yeah, so if you don't know, just ask your mama, look on your birth certificate. You know, you can find that information. Especially if you're born here in America. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel. I talk about everything, y'all. I don't just talk about astrology and zodiac signs. I talk about relationships. I talk about sex. I talk about dating. I talk about everything. So make sure y'all check out my other videos, and always continue to be divine minded.